Hey everybody, Hershey here. I wanted to record a quick video for you on a little test slash case study I've been kind of doing behind the scenes with one of our blogs, and give you a little background on this. Right after the Google Plus local changes, I held a webinar within 24 hours for all of our buyers and asked them if I could post it on the blog because I really hadn't posted a lot of content on this blog because I only try to put like relevant stuff up there and don't really feed it. So we get 20 to 100 visitors a day or whatever, somewhere in there, depending on what we're doing. So what I did was I actually put up one of our new plugins behind the scenes for this blog and ran a couple of like little click tests and things like that. So this is the actual post, and this is what the page looked like. And I want to show you guys some of the things that we did. First of all, when we went through, I mailed this to our list, and I had a couple Facebook groups reshare it and stuff like that. And this is actually the stats for that page. So you can see that our biggest day we had about 1,500 visitors on Friday the 1st of June, which was the first day. And then obviously a drop off because I didn't remail it to about 400, and then it peters off over the next 10 days because the day I'm recording this is the 11th of June, and we've had as of this morning about 20 visitors so far. So and realize I haven't been updating it or doing anything. So you can see that the significant traffic drop-offs over the next couple days, and you can see we had 2,000 visitors that week to this post, and then 900 the next. So we've had about around 3,000 total visitors. 3,100 is what we're showing in this page for June over an 11-day period, which averages out to just under 300 visitors a day or whatever, just over 316 is what it averages out. So of those 3,000 visitors or total viewers, they may not be unique, they may be return visitors. I wanted to see what they were doing, what their behavior was on our site. So what we built was for our local business owners, for guys that host with us using WebWeaver Elite, which is our push button website hosting platform. I've built a new plugin that's called the Hotspot Tracker, and I'm really trying to figure out where people are looking on our webpage, if they're clicking on it, if my site's optimized or not. And there's a lot of third-party things out there. There's some heat map plugins and stuff, and they're all on subscription. And I wasn't a really big fan of paying subscription and stuff that I wasn't using that often. I've got some analytics and other clicky programs and stuff like that, but I wanted to see really on that particular site if I just log in and see what happens. So we built a little heat map tracker. As you can see that in the past 10 or 11 days here, I've gotten almost 10,000 clicks on that page. So the average person is clicking about 3 times on our main site. And what really interested me is where you put things on your site above the fold in relation to the content that you provide. I'm going to do some ongoing testing with this, but I want to show you guys some really cool results that we've gotten. So I clicked on View Map before, and then I just opened this tab up, and you can see that, oh, I got the little spinning wheel of death because there's so much data on this, is really what people's behavior on my blog is. Now, if you transfer this over to a small business site, your own website, you can see if people are clicking the submit button and what they are actually doing on your main website. And I really wanted to track and see people who are going on the site. Obviously, the clicks up here are me because I'm going in and out of my own blog, and people are clicking on the About Us, the resources. But you can see there's a huge condensed area above the fold where just to the left of the video, so I don't know if people are scrolling with their mouse. I'm not quite sure with that. Same thing off to the right, or they're just random clickers, or maybe they had Skype open or something and they were clicking away from it, or clicking on the site to see the whole page. I'm not 100% sure on those, but what I am sure of is right here in the middle of the video it said click on me to play video. So a lot of people did follow that instruction. They clicked on the play button. You can see the condensed number of clicks and spots. I could change the colors and make these spots bigger, so I made them about 15 pixels, so they really stood out. But if you notice, everybody's kind of clicking in the middle, or they're clicking on the play bar down here on the bottom. There's multiple layers of clicks right here just above and below the play bar. So people are clicking the play button, but there's a couple main features that I wanted to show you that it should kind of jump right out at you when you're looking at this. And I just did a sketch photo of it. Is if you were to go back and look at where people are clicking, they're clicking on a couple of money sections just below the video. I added a little Google Plus button down below the video, so people are clicking on that, and there's some condensed clicks as well. I can tell the behavior is this is an hour-long webinar. People want to get right to the data. They want to get right to the information. So they've been clicking through, trying to find the information that they want. I realize this was also a replay, so some people wanted, they missed the first half or they missed the second half. And then the other big money spot was off to the right, which were our site sponsors, our banner ads off to the right. And if we go back and look here, you can see that a lot of people are clicking on this very first top left banner up here in the top left, or they're clicking to open up the video. But this actually kind of intrigued me because I found out that I kind of blew up the site a little bit when I posted this, where I got rid of the banner ad on accident for a couple days. So the interesting thing and the big lessons learned for me is the recent post section was up right next to the video, and I was basically hovering my mouse over each one of these little hotspots and trying to see when people were clicking on them. Whether it was the site sponsor banner ad right here, which is our number one ad, which is for our hosting company, it's right there, or our recent posts, which was the Google Plus training or the Localizer Leads tool update, people were actually just moving over to the right and clicking right there to the right and getting more information on whatever was right there to the right of this video. So what I found, and I've got to do some more testing on this, is whatever is right here in this section, this is actually valuable real estate for your business if it's next to a video based on this one test. The other thing that I found is that obviously people are clicking the play button, their mouse is there. Whatever action you want them to do by hitting Google Plus or Facebook like or whatever, they are doing that as well. So those are the two big prime real estate sections that I found when it came to looking at this site and really tracking people's behavior. Those are the first two that really popped out at me. Another thing that popped out at me was, the receive our free newsletter. If you notice, I've got like 7 or 10 clicks on the word free up here. So that's a really good buzzword, right? And then we've got people actually clicking in to enter their email and clicking on the submit button. Realize this was mailed to my list. So I had maybe 30 or 20 new email addresses that we collected based off this newsletter box because I provided content. So I actually was able to add a decent amount of subscribers by just giving relevant posts. So I thought that was interesting to see if people are actually using that on our site. So those are the big ones at the top. So I'm like, all right, here's the condensed number of clicks. What happens if I go lower on this heat map on this page? Because I wrote actually a pretty decently long post. So I'm scrolling, giving updates, and what I noticed here is I noticed a couple things. So embedded in this body of this post, I put, if you want to learn more about the local income system, click here or whatever. I made that a hypertext link, and then I also used the word click here embedded in the copy, so people had to read it. And then I also put the find us on Facebook. So you can see that some people scrolled down and clicked on it. It wasn't a huge number, wasn't a huge conversion. Remember, they've actually got to scroll down and click on it to get there, and it was below the fold. But what really got be interested in, what piqued my interest is a lot of little find us Facebook button things that worked kind of decently, but this right here should be standing out to you as well, which is in all caps, click here, which is a call to action, NLP, whatever you want to call it. Realistically, click here to join our local marketers group on Facebook, which is an open public group. I had, 2 times, 3 times the number of people actually click on a little blue click here text, which had a little hyperlink to our Facebook group right here with a call to action rather than find us on Facebook. So in the future, I'm probably going to change this graphic to say, click here to join our Facebook group with a graphic and see what happens. And I thought that was kind of interesting that I want to share because this is lower on the page. When people scroll down, what was the first thing their eyes went towards was an uncluttered word of click here, because that's where the majority of the clicks and the condensement of the clicks is actually happening down lower below the fold on the page. So then I keep scrolling more. All right, we had like 7 comments at 10,000 clicks or 3,000 visitors, and 23 Google Plus ones and all that other stuff, right? So I keep scrolling. Notice that nobody clicked this Google +1 down here because I had condensed it up to the top. So if they were going to +1 me, they did it at the top of the post and they didn't do it at the bottom because they were too busy looking at the click here button, or they had already done it if they had opted to do it. So then I keep scrolling down even further, and you can see, all right, wow, look at now there's almost no clicks down here at the bottom of the page. And I bet you probably 10 to 15, maybe 20% of these are me responding to people off of my blog post. So we had 8 Facebook comments, 7 regular comments, and 23 Google +1. So out of 3,000 visitors, I had 30 people actually do any sort of response to this, and then obviously I'm replying and going through here, and you can see that as people go through, this gets longer and it's set up, and then as I get to the very very bottom, not one person got to the bottom of my page and clicked anything down here on the bottom. So this is completely worth its real estate for advertising or expecting anybody to kind of go down here. So those are the real big lessons learned that I've taken away from this blog post and from this test that I want to share with you. Was everything right below the play bar, people are jumping around, we all kind of knew that, but this was a little bit of a surprise. This real estate just to the right of the video, no matter what was there, it got clicked, whether it was a category or a banner ad. And then the other big thing here is that word click here down here in the bottom in all caps, where it stood out cleanly on the page. So I want to share that with you guys. We're going to do some more hotspot tracking and testing here in the future, but I thought you might benefit this if you were going to use hotspot tracking and heat map tracking, or building out your blog posts to maximize the results of the visitors on your clients' pages. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm going to eventually post this somewhere online and probably put it right back up on this blog as well, because I'm pretty open to sharing that. So expect to see that out there. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you had similar results for what you're seeing on your pages, if you're actually tracking this kind of stuff, and how you could benefit from a little hotspot tracker like this in your business. So take care, and I appreciate you guys watching the video. Let me know what you learned, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.